Well, good morning and welcome. Today is, what is today? It is Tuesday, February 8th. We are in week 5 of Trends and Opportunities, week 5 of this winter semester. Pretty exciting that we have made it to this point with no major casualties, which is good. And let's see, how are things going today? Let's see. I think I'm doing all right tonight, or just tonight, this morning. Maybe I'm not doing all right tonight or this morning. Was out playing hockey last night, which was good. Let's get back in it. Um, are any of you back into playing hockey? I think usually there's one or two of you that are playing. Sydney, do you play hockey? Wednesday nights for Trevor. Adams out in the pond. It's been a good year for pond hockey. It's been pretty well steady almost since Christmas. Lots of good ice out there. Well, maybe some. Okay, so you used to just for fun now. Awesome, Sydney. That's good to hear. Sid. Um, I was trying to stay up last night to watch the women's hockey game, but I watched about half of the first period and got a little bit tired. But I watched the highlights this morning, which was nice to see. Canada and the U.S. women's teams head to head, and happy to say that the Canadian women's team prevailed in that preliminary round game of the Olympics. But the Canadians were severely outshot in that game. I have to think it was something like 50 something to 20 something. I don't have the exact numbers, but I did read that it was quite there must have been a goaltender. The Canadian goaltender sounds like they won the game for them, but the goals were good goals, so uh, good to see. Is anyone else watching any Olympic sports? Well, the time difference definitely screws up. Yeah. Yeah, the time is really tough. Like it's either late at night or early in the morning. So it's about, I think it's 13 hours ahead. So it would be 9 p.m. there right now. So I guess if you had the mornings off to watch stuff, you could. But definitely, the time change is definitely a bit of a tough one for anyone in North America, or at least this side of the North America. Yes, we did see the Canadians play the Russian Olympic Committee team with masks on, and I tried watching that one too. I stayed up for that one 2 nights ago, and I guess the Russians didn't have their COVID test complete or the results weren't in. So, anyways, apparently the Canadian women's team has done a lot of practicing with masks on to prepare themselves for this. So definitely doesn't sit well, but I guess they had to do what they had to do at the time. So it's crazy that they even practice with that. Like can't imagine that would be very comfortable. I've got to tell you though, the one I guess pretty thrilling event I've been watching is the Big Air. Yeah, I don't know if anyone's watching that, the Big Air, which is basically, do the craziest just one jump of whatever trick you can do. And it's the women, I think I was watching was it the women last night? I think it was the women last night. I was watching them. And, when they hit like a triple cork 1800, it's like, holy smokes, they did 5 rotations out there. like just and then land. Like I could maybe try, but I would be like a bunch of broken bones when I hit the snow. But yeah, 5 rotations and then land it clean, and then that's pretty insane when you see stuff like that. Just very talented in their own way out there on the ski jumping, or the big air jumping. Yeah. But yeah, I haven't watched too much other than that. And a bit of the men's downhill last night, Super G. But always good to see. I love watching winter or the Olympics. It's always kind of even if it is sort of with minimal fans and all these different restrictions in place, but that is what it is right now. It's this way the sport can be played and keep people safe. And you think of these athletes that have been training. Some of these sports really only participate in the Olympics. Like there's some sports that they don't have World Cups for or things like that. So, could be like men's downhill, okay, or women's downhill. They have World Cup events all year round, but there's other events that just don't get that opportunity, to play on the big stage and win medals and that sort of thing throughout the year. So it's nice to see that sort of thing happen, get those athletes the opportunity. But it almost looks like all the snow is all like been fake or man-made snow, which is, you look all around the different slopes, and on each side is not grass but vegetation that isn't covered in snow, and then you look at the surface that they're participating on, jumping on, and it's all like nice and white. I say that did a nice job with the fake snow, though. It's quite artistic, some of the stuff. So it's very interesting stuff. All right, what are we at here? We are up to, how many people in class today? 13 plus, including myself. Okay. All right, I am going to mention that the discussion board has got a fair bit better this week. We're up to 16 participants, which is, I think we still have 24 in the class, so we're approaching 2/3 of the people are participating in the discussion board. And how are people? How are you? What are your thoughts on the discussion board so far, leading up to the presentation topic of the week? Does anyone have any comments or like to could share anything with me? Yeah, I'm looking for some feedback. It's the first time I've done the discussion board in this class. Well, Adam, thank you for responding. Anyone else gonna give me some feedback? Anyone find it like, is it a waste of time? No problem, Jack. Thank you. I do enjoy reading them. I like listening, because I don't hear from a lot of people in class. It's nice to hear what you have to say in the discussion board, because it gives me a little bit of an insight on, it could be your opinions or your thoughts, a little bit of a connection. So thank you for that. I do appreciate your involvement on the discussion boards, which it is quite, I think, sort of timely as well for the topic. So that's great that we had, I believe cheating was the topic this past week. And we are entering into the week of the Paralympics, which is going to be available until the Valentine's Day. Do we have class on No, Monday's on Valentine's. All right. Goes to the 14th at 11:59 EST. All right, so that is the next week's topic is the Paralympics. Kind of timely. Maybe it would be better if it was in a week or so, but I guess that's the way it worked out. Just because it could be timed with the Paralympics, but we're good there. Okay. What else is happening here that we need to talk about before we get going? Okay, how about the one other thing that's been like going crazy? Can anyone explain to me why gas is so expensive these days? Like I'm sure I was out checking I did have to get gas this week, but it was like $1.50 something. Like that's insane. I guess if you lived out west, you'd be used to that. But what's going on here? Like, why is gas just going so crazy in price? Yeah, like is it the truckers strike? Because maybe the truckers are stopped trucking the gas to the gas stations or something like that. I don't know, but it just doesn't seem to be stopping. Like this is like I guess I could say I'm happy I'm working at home because I don't have to drive too far to use up gas. So, typically I buy for a 2 week period probably 3 tanks of gas because I was working in Aurelia. But now just at $1.68 by the end of the year. Oh, that's lovely. Brandon, do you have any other good news? Well, that would only be going up another 10 cents or so because it's been at like $1.55. Uh, that's I don't know. It's like I feel bad. Like I don't know if you guys have jobs or if you're just only not only but a student without a job. But imagine if you were had to commute to campus and you'd be carpooling for sure. You'd be looking for people to split the gas with you. Yeah, Adam, the other thing with house prices, that's it's like hyperinflation that's going on. It's really insane. And try and find a house at 700,000 now. Like it's like maybe I'll sell my house and make some money, but I don't think I have a place to move to if I'm going to be selling a house. There's no other houses, not really a lot of houses on the market. I had a friend, looking for a home over this past winter because they sold their house in the fall. He's probably, put bids in on like 6 to 8 different homes and got outbid every time. And he was putting in bids over the asking price. So it is a strange economy right now. It is insane. I don't know what is going on, but let's hope yeah, townhouses at $800,000. What is going on there? I don't get it. Don't get it. But you know what? We still have sport that we can enjoy, right? Knowing they tried taking sport away, I guess, with COVID when everything got locked down. But hey, must say, um, what must they say? School better pay off. That's right. Find yourself some sort of job that can pay the bills. Uh, it's okay. I'm still paying my bills off. So, what was I going to say? Oh yes, talking about hockey and that sort of thing. I don't know where all my Leaf fans are these days, but Leafs had a big game last night against Carolina. Right there. Thank you, Adam. They 6 in a row. That's right. Though Freddie Anderson didn't have a good trip to Toronto. Was it in Toronto? I think it was in Toronto last night. Um, yeah, Matthews got a little bit of a knee in the back of the head. Didn't look too bad, but we know his history with concussions, so let's hope he is okay. I know that could be. I haven't heard any reports on him today yet, but that was a wasn't super. It wasn't like Tavares in the playoffs last year. It wasn't that bad, right? What are we up to now? 16. Okay, I'm good. Okay, let's see what we're talking about today. Today in The Sims, and I should mention I would just talk about some schoolwork for a bit, is good communication from anyone that has, had difficulty with the Sims modules, asking to have it, something reset. I know a few of you asked to have modules reset because things were glitchy or your internet wasn't good or something was happening or you just didn't do well. So, I don't mind resetting it for you. Like that's um, just communicate with me. I did make the learning phases. You can redo them as many times as you want. So that's good. Do the learning phases over and over and kind of tweak your the little settings. But as far as the challenge phase, you get 2 tries, and then if you need a try at it, I can reset that for you. But it seems like everyone's kind of getting the hang of it now. This week we are moving into parking. So let's talk about parking. Yeah, it's kind of boring. We kind of touched on parking a little bit last week, and um, but this week we are right into the parking and revenue. Okay, and let me share my screen here with this because I have it open. Hopefully you are looking at the what are we looking at here? These, hold on a second while I get my stuff together here. Right, the concept overview. Did I share it yet? What am I doing? Nope, not yet. Here it comes. Concept overview of parking. All right, does anyone have any questions before we get into the content? Be kind of good on this if when you put something in the chat, there was a little sound that popped up or that I heard. I don't know if that, maybe somebody knows Teams better than I do, but no sound there. Okay. All right, let's get into parking. Hopefully everyone can grab that from Blackboard or follow along here. Now, stadium parking is definitely a moneymaker in all pro sports. Okay. Now, there's a few different scenarios here that make sense. And there's the city-based stadiums, the rural suburb-based stadiums, and I think there's one other. Then there's on-site versus off-site lots and tailgating we're going to talk about and some other stuff. Okay, so city-based stadiums, let me just make that a bit bigger so I can see it. Fans going to a game at Fenway Park in Boston, Wrigley Field, Chicago, or national parks in Washington, stadiums that are all in the heart of a vibrant downtown. Again, lots of Canadian examples there, right? Wrong. Okay, we could also talk about, Rogers Center or Rogers Place or whatever they're calling the Rogers Places in Toronto, the Leafs and where the Blue Jays play. Are good examples of in city-based stadiums. We'll have limited opportunities for parking that are on site, but we find that public transportation and private parking structures or private parking lots are the way that things happen there. Most likely, these teams do not own the parking structures surrounding the stadium and therefore have limited opportunity to control the prices or generate revenue from fans parking. Now, if anyone has been to Toronto, for events, we know that we have Green Pea Parking, which is a lovely name, but it's the Green Pea Parking, and they have look after a lot of the parking. The one stadium in Toronto, can anyone tell me, that has on-site parking? The one pro sport stadium. Who has on-site parking in Toronto? Thanks, Adam. Quick on the draw there with BMO. BMO does have some on-site parking, a fair bit. I have been and used that. Has anyone been to the football stadium in Hamilton? I think they call it Tim Hortons Stadium. Or has anyone been there? The Leafs are playing there in March. Is that an outdoor game? I guess. I have not. Yes, versus Buffalo in Hamilton. Very interesting. Okay. You just I'm just looking for some Kleenex around here. I did not know that. Well, Buffalo is the home team. Really? Okay. Thanks for keeping me up to date on that, Adam. What I was going to mention about there's next. Hold on a second. Let me just mute myself for a second. Hold on. Sorry about that. Excuse me. The Tim Hortons Stadium, there's not even any private parking around that one. It's incredible. I went there to, I think it was the Commonwealth Games. I don't really remember, the Pan Am or Commonwealth, one of those ones that were in our neck of the woods a few years back. And everyone, you just like in the neighborhood, it's like right in a neighborhood, and people just at their homes just charge people to park on their front lawns, and everyone's parking on everyone's front lawn. So if it's a game day, the local residents in the area, they probably make a few $100 just in parking. So hey, why not? So let's get back to what I have here. So the Nationals have 8 team-owned parking lots near the stadium, and the map shows 2 public transportation stops within walking distance of the park. Well, I'm hoping that the transportation stops are within walking distance of the park. Like, who would have done the designing where the public transportation isn't in walking distance of the park? That's kind of silly. So if you're looking at this picture, I have some better pictures I'm going to show you. But there's the park. There's a yellow blob at the bottom, and what are we looking at here? They don't even have it. This is a terrible picture. Oh, is there a legend? No, that's not the legend. That's a different. I'm going to show you some different pictures in a few minutes. Those are terrible. That's a terrible picture. Then there's the rural suburb-based stadiums. Can anyone think of a rural suburb-based stadium that's in Ontario that's for a pro sport? It's kind of where the trucker rally started. Okay, not too many inputs here, but we're going to go with the Canadian Tire Center, Ottawa. Thank you, Harmandeep. Senators Arena. Exactly, James. I think that they call it Canadian Tire Center. It's just because the naming rights change so frequently. I believe it's the Canadian Tire Center. If you look at that place, that would be considered a rural suburb-based stadium, since it's not even really in Ottawa. I think it's in Canada. Um, so, so teams have stadiums out in the suburbs with ample parking space. There's another. How about the NFL team that's in our neighbor? What's that big stadium? Does anyone tell me that one that has, I would say, rural suburb-based stadium? New Era Field. Is that the Buffalo Field? Buffalo. I'm always known as Ralph Wilson Stadium. And what am I going to show you here? And I think I'm going to try and share this with you for a second. All right, so Ralph Wilson Stadium right here. You can see that, and it's public lots or lot 5. This is the stadium in the center. And then I'm trying to make that a little bit bigger. And the public lots are all the yellow lots. The permit only preferred lots, 6. Obviously, you're nice and close. Probably private box people, maybe. Permit only preferred lots. Oh, sorry, permit only preferred lots. I don't know the difference between red and blue on this one. Permit only preferred. Anyways, the red and blue ones, maybe this preferred. Oh, maybe I don't know why I want. And then they have the we also have youth football stadium. We also have, where else am I wanted to show you on this one is they have, where are they? The bus parking and camper parking. So they have specific lots for the bus, limousine, camper. So I've never been to the stadium for a game, but it looks like they have lots of parking that is in the area. Whoop, didn't want to show you that one yet. Hold on. We'll go back to this here. Okay. So this rural suburb-based parking and some of the parking that you go to these stadiums and it's actually, free. Like the BMO, BMO wasn't free. But some places would provide free parking just to get the people out to the games. So the New England Patriots that are playing half hour from Boston for parking the Patriots owned lots, fans will pay $40 for a car, SUV, or truck, up to $150 for RV, limousine, and buses. I used to take Blue Jay trips down, or students down to the Blue Jays for games and buses. And I think it was $40 at the time. I used to always have to give the bus driver $40 to park the bus at Skydome at the time. And they would just go sit in there. I think half the time the driver went and parked on a road somewhere and spent the $40 on chicken wings and beer somewhere. But there was a $40 charge for and I always had to give him cash, which was kind of odd, but that's the way it worked. See figure 2 for the New England Patriots payout, parking map layout. And there are 38 private structures near the stadium. Most lots at $50 per car due to the advantage of a quick, easier exit out of town. And we talked a little bit about that last week with the Sadlin Center where the Colts play and having to wait. So all these, and it's really hard to read them. But I'm going to see if I can make this bigger or not. Doesn't really get much better. Okay. Light blue is the general parking. Club suite parking are the peachy colored ones that are close to the stadium. The pink are the oversized vehicle parking, so the one way over here at the top. And they have all kinds of different ones. Retail parking only, yellow. So imagine those are your staff working. Reserve parking is the green. So we have a few green lots there. ADA, I think it's like AODA. Sorry, I got my right over here. So anyone that has an accessibility needs. Then there's media parking is the purple right over here. And then we have I can't read that one. Sutton Kings lot. Maybe it's a draft. I don't know. It must be. Maybe someone can read that. This isn't the original. So then they have a premium lot, the light purple, and the Uber lot. So if you need your Uber, you got to walk way over here to get your Uber. And then stadium employees. So what is the retail only? Maybe they're just going into bot. I'm not sure. And I wanted to see, they don't have it on here, but some of the lots will show the tailgating lots, but not in this photo. Okay. All right, so what are we looking at? $50 for, also local trains run directly from Boston to Gillette Stadium, a round trip for $20. Not bad. Imagine that, I don't know where the train is on this photo, but imagine if we looked at it and examined it a bit closer, we could find that. What are the brown ones? People are waiting in the lobby. Hold on a second. We have a visitor. Admit. Okay, let's go down a bit further. Hybrid locations. So we see a lot of hybrid locations off for stadiums in the city, but have parking lots surrounding the stadium. Teams have the ability to provide premium parking to season ticket holders, as well as off-site lots and shuttle opportunities. So shuttles are a real thing. In this scenario, you're going to be working through the sim. There will be shuttles, and you have to figure out how many shuttles you need. The Denver Broncos are a prime example. The Sports Authority Stadium has a limited parking on stadium property. The Broncos reserve this parking for season ticket holders, with any empty spots left over sold on a first come first served basis, be 20 and 30 bucks. And for other parking, the Broncos partner with off-site groups, the Pepsi Center in Denver, Aquarium, and the Orieri campus. So they use different areas to get people to the game, and then I guess they have shuttles they call Broncos Ride shuttle service that provides rides to and from the various parking, and they charge between, well, they even charge for the shuttle. I think they have a free shuttle, but $4.50 to $10. That's like a ripoff. Wow. Okay. You can take a bus from Barrie to Orillia for $4, but the shuttle to the game is $10. Okay. And then, obviously, again, you can see revenue generation is a big thing. The team will conduct a supply and demand analysis discussed in relation to ticket pricing. When determining the proper prices for parking, teams like Nationals and Cubs have limited parking options, creating a high demand in theory. They will not, however, be able to mark up prices due to private parking competitors in an efficient pub. So there's this, depending on the demand for the game, if you're not selling out your game, excuse me, if you are, have a low attendance predicted, expected for the game, it's going to be tough to charge premium parking prices. But if you know you're going to be sold out, parking prices are going to be up there. They're going to be premium. Teams like the Patriots and Cowboy stadiums with ample parking will also not be able to mark up prices for parking, because proximity to the stadium is not the only factor fans that take into account. Okay, even though these teams own a majority of the parking, fans will look at amenities provided, so tailgating, RV, and bus access, ease of egress, exiting from the stadium when choosing a parking location. So people would rather park a bit further to have a good getaway at the end of the game. Therefore, teams will have to provide options that will entice the fans to park in the team lot over going somewhere else that may have easier access of egress. And then there's the VIP parking. At the Sadlin Center, where the Colts play, right around the arena is all private. During game night is all private box parking. So I think each private box gets, 2 or 3 or 4, maybe I don't know, 2 parking spots or something like that. And it's included in your private box ticket. Include VIP for premium ticket packages. For example, the New York Giants have an exclusive premium parking lot for personal seat license holders, club level ticket holders, and suite level. So everyone in those private boxes have a premium parking lot. So it's one of the amenities included in their ticket package. So this allows teams to not only charge more for tickets, but also upcharges prices for parking. So general parking at the lots at MetLife Stadium may cost $30, but when parking is included in 18,000 suite level tickets, it becomes a greater percentage of the ticket price, which generates more revenue for parking. So instead of charging $30 for parking with these 18,000 suite level tickets, they might charge, it might be $50 or $100 for parking. We don't know, because they have not told us. On-site versus off-site, there is a bit of a comparison here. Teams without a lot of parking space around the stadium will purchase or rent off-site parking structures for game day parking. A team must determine. Now, I'm going to share this one with you because I talked a fair bit about it last week. And copy. We'll put this in the chat. There we go. Buffalo has a lot of tailgating. Yes, thank you for sharing that. This is the big house parking. So I talked about the Ann Arbor Stadium last week where Michigan State, I think, plays. Yeah, Michigan, University of Michigan. Ugh. And they have a full website just dedicated to going to parking, for parking for the stadium. So, you know, when you go to this game, you want to be sure that, you know, have your big house parking. You know, you have to do everything ahead of time. So you get the, let's see, there's a parking map. Let's look at the map. So that's not a very interesting map because that's not the what I was thinking of. Let's see, I just wanted to take you through the, no access denied. Yeah, pick a game. I just wanted to see this. It's not working for me. Anyways, I'll let you play around with that if you like. Another one that I wanted to share was this one here, which is the Rogers Center parking guide. So you can click on the Rogers Center parking guide. Where am I sharing now? Right here. So again, this is a little bit old, right? It's from last season, but another, you know, these teams have websites dedicated just to find off-site parking, right? So we know when we look at this map here, it shows you the parking around. There's the stadium, the little dropped pin here. And then you can see the parking all around. So it depends on how much you want to pay. Do you want to pay $12 way over here? Or do you want to pay, you know, $30 right here? And it's a pretty decent range from 12 to 30. But they're also charging 30 up here. They must give you like a covered garage and a parking and a car wash or something that far away. 35 down here. So you can see the different choices of parking for the going down to that Blue Jays game. All right. What else did I want to? Let's see. Let's go back to this. And the University of Notre Dame provides on-site parking for its football games that require a parking permit. These permits cost between $70 and $90. Jeez, it's a lot. Okay. The university also provides off-site parking for $30 and shuttles that drop fans off near the campus library. In case you want to read a book, I guess. Operation kickoff at game time. During the game, one shuttle is in operation. So that makes sense, right? Everyone during the game should be at the game, not shuttling back and forth from the parking lot, but you know, people that show up late. After the game, the 12 shuttles run until lines subside 2 hours after the game, whichever is longer. And the variance in prices by lot allows teams to generate more revenue for premium parking lot locations via a parking permit while still providing other parking options for fans who do not want to pay the premium. I hope you got your P's down pat here. There's a lot of P's in that statement. Okay. Let's see what we got up here. Tailgating versus non-tailgating. Has anyone been to any tailgating events or events that had tailgating, I should say? I have not been able. You've been to a Bills game, Adam? Okay. I have not been able to experience any tailgating. Now, I've heard that the tailgating at the Bills game is pretty good. Um, Barbecues, coolers full of drinks, football games like touch football, that sort of thing. It's a blast. Adam, did you go early enough to enjoy the full experience of the tailgating?
Yeah, I was there. It was 1 o'clock game. I
Mm-hmm.
got there, I think around 9 on a coach bus.
Nice.
We had free tickets to the game, free coach bus there, free alcoholic beverages at the tailgate. The only thing I had to pay for was beverages during the game.
Jeez. And
It was
then how did you get this opportunity
uh,
of all
my,
these?
my buddy's dad was high up in Canadian Tire,
Uh-huh.
and he couldn't go, so he gave his 2 tickets to us.
Very nice. And was it this season that you went?
No, this is like 6, 7 years ago.
Okay. All right. Wow, that sounds like a full day experience. I imagine pretty exciting experience. So good stuff. Did you get a free jersey too?
No, we bought some Bills gear, so we kind of fit in.
Lovely. I think a lot of Toronto people are Bills fans, so
Yeah.
good stuff. So thanks for sharing that, Adam. Thank you. Okay. So San Francisco, uh, San Francisco. Which San Francisco team is it? San Francisco provides 11 lots that allows open flame barbecues, 2 lots that allow tailgating but no open flame, 8 lots that do not allow tailgating at all. Okay, so Canada has tried to replicate the American tailgating experience, but mm, I don't think they've really succeeded. There's too many liquor laws and licensing and that sort of thing. So what we've seen happen in Ontario, Toronto, is that they have created the Jurassic Park and I don't know what they call it for the Leafs, but the outside area to watch the games. It's kind of like they've tried to do that. I don't think there's any alcohol there. I haven't been. It used to be more organic, and it's sort of because the games were such a sellout and no one could get in, people would just start gathering through outside the arena. And then the arena said, well, let's put some large screens outside. And then the arena said, well, let's fence it in and put capacity issues on it. And then they took all the fun away. So, but that's still there. And what else do we have here? Cars versus buses versus RVs. So Adam, you went down on like a bus, rented bus. Definitely the way to go. Has a washroom on board, probably, and also comfortable seats. So that's the way to go. I don't know about sometimes going over the borders is a little touch and go, but um, maybe now it is. But it always has been. Always somebody on the bus says uh, they're like an illegal immigrant or something like that. The price differential is logical because RVs and buses take up more space. Obviously, that's logical, right? And, whoops, sorry. And we're coming down to the terms that we want to talk about. Income effects. The idea that wealth of an individual increases, the lower price product will be replaced for more expensive, higher quality products. For example, if a team sets parking at 40, a consumer may look to get a VIP parking right next to the stadium, which is a little more expensive but higher quality to customer. Income effects. On-site lots, we've talked about those. Off-site lots, we got that. Ride sharing, increased popular opinion to fans to get to events. Service utilize private vehicles and drivers. So Uber and Lyft. Ride sharing, that's more about like taxi service. Substitution effects, idea that the prices rise on a product, consumers will replace the more expensive items with less costly alternatives. For example, if a team sets parking lot at 80, a consumer will look for a less costly alternative near the stadium. Right? spend $20 instead of 80, you have $60 to get beer and merchandise. Tailgating. To gather, we know what tailgating is, right? Getting together. We should know what tailgating is at this point. Maybe if you're, is anyone on this call that is not North American based that can tell us about tailgating in other countries? I don't know if anyone is living somewhere else. Can anyone talk about tailgating in any other countries? Well, I'm hoping that other countries do have tailgating opportunities. Maybe it's not called tailgating. Maybe there's just a party or something before the event that all the fans get together and sort of like a rally for games, right? Like a pep rally. Okay. Here we are. Let's go to, what do we want to do here? Right, let's open up the quiz. Sorry. Oh yeah, one other thing I should have mentioned this at the beginning, but our presentation today is Adam and Christian on COVID-19, and I should have checked in with you two earlier, but we'll have the quiz and then we will go to the presentation. Adam and Christian, are you good with that?
Sorry, I missed that. We
Oh.
are ready to go.
Oh, we'll just do the quiz first.
Okay.
Okay, and then we'll come back and do your presentation, okay?
Okay.
You're all right with that?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me just find this. Okay, so the quiz is available and we will go until 9:10. How about that? Okay, so quiz. Right, so I'll give you that. It's about 20 minutes to get through that, and I will pause. I can't pause the recording, unfortunately, but I have to stop the recording. I don't know how to pause. And we'll stop the recording, and then we'll be back at 9:10. Is that all right? Oh, Nick, the quiz, yes. Go to Blackboard, click on Virtual Business Case Sims. Hopefully you have paid for that already. And then you can find the parking and revenue module. And then in the parking and revenue module, you'll find the quiz. Yeah, I know. There's so many, all your different classes are all set up different. So no problem about not remembering where that is. Okay, so I'm going to stop recording and talk to you all at 9:10.